Welcome to Salcedo Paranormal. It is Wednesday, June 29th, 2022, and tonight I will be talking about haunted transportation hubs. And in particular, pretty sure tonight I'll just be covering airports, and then next month I will get more into train stations and subway stations. Found enough where I don't think I can fit it all in one episode, so... and of course, as always, you can find all the episodes of the podcast along with links to social media and ways to donate and ways to contact me at the podcast page, which would be salcidoparanormal.podbean.com. That's SALSIDO paranormal.podbean.com. Always happy to hear from you all, whether you have comments or questions or topic suggestions, or if you have stories of paranormal experiences, whether they're yours or others that you trust. Happy to either read them or have you join me on the show to talk about them. And I do have a schedule, but if we need to arrange a separate day, a different day and time to record those episodes, that's fine as well. So, and just a quick thing about this episode, this does somewhat get into some tragedies, some dark circumstances as to the reasons for some of these supposedly haunted airports. So, just want to give a little bit of a warning in advance for that, just in case, because there are some sad aspects to this topic. So, one thing I didn't think to do, I guess I could do it after, is share the articles. I can do that right now, real quick. Actually, I'll share them as I go through. So, I have 3 articles here that I found on this topic, and I'll go into the first one here. Thank you all for being here to listen, whether you're here live or you listen to the podcast or YouTube feeds. I see you all in the stream there. Thank you for listening as well. And again, thank you all for being supportive of this new schedule, lighter schedule overall. It's I think it's working better than that 5-day-a-week thing was. I think that was too much. So let me just get this link in place. Get all the extra stuff off the end of it. There we go. Okay. So I'll be talking about this article first. And hopefully, if it doesn't work for anyone, let me know. I'll include the whole thing next time if I have to. So this article is about... the title is, it's from way.com, which I think is actually a pretty neat name. Simple. But the title of the article is, of course, Get Ghosted at the 6 Most Haunted Airports in the U.S. And this is by Renee Martin. Again, I won't be reading all of it, just talking about some of the locations that they talk about here. And some of these will appear in other articles as well. So the first one they talk about is a Savannah/Hilton Head International Airport in Georgia, the U.S. This article is all about locations in the U.S. And it says... Now, as of whenever this article was released, basically one of the busiest airports in Georgia. And, but apparently it's not just passengers, but staff and pilots that have experiences here. Specifically, there are 2 figures that will show up along the north side of the runway. And they're associated with 2 graves that are embedded in the airport's runway. They're the graves of Richard and Catherine Dotson, who were former owners of the land that the airport was built on. And they've been seen, apparently it's just figures, they've been seen by passengers and pilots. And they say, it says here in the article that a picture of those graves is even included on the airport website. So I feel bad for them if hopefully they're not unhappy. But of course, having something built on your property, not that can cause activity. But at least it's nothing dangerous or too extreme there. So this next airport they mentioned in this article is the Daniel K. Inouye, I'm not sure if I'm saying that, International Airport in Honolulu in Hawaii in the U.S. And the legend associated with this is that it's haunted by the lady in waiting. Again, this is someone that is said to have fallen for a man who pledged to marry her, but then left the area. And hopefully this is just a legend because it says she took her own life. Again, that's why I had the warning in the beginning. Some of these are dark stories. And so a figure of a woman is seen in this area. It also says that there are reports of activity in the restrooms with toilet paper rolls that unravel on their own and other objects moving, and such as toilet seats and I guess doors and things like that. And other things, more severe activity, according to this article here. And there's even been a figure that has been seen in the back seat of the airport shuttle. I'm guessing it's a bus or a car of some kind, or van. But they're seen sitting in this vehicle in the middle of the night when it's not running. So, and of course, I'm guessing that must be an off-limits area unless it's being used. So the next one they talk about here is Chicago O'Hare International Airport. Now this is a location, I decided not to cover this aspect of everything because it's been covered in other shows. But if you look up flying humanoid sightings, and then the name Chicago O'Hare Airport, you will find reports of that. That's just one side note. That's not mentioned really in this article, but it's just something I've heard about a lot in different shows. This is also the site of a tragic accident where a plane crashed on near their airport, just about a mile away from the runway, which killed everyone on board. This was in 1979, and but then the reports after this happened come from a nearby trailer park where residents there have claimed that ghosts come to their doors looking for missing luggage, and I'm guessing they disappear after too long, which is usually the way it goes. Apparitions and figures have been seen as well where the flight crashed, and so that's the story behind those sightings. So let's see here. I just want to check on the chat. Looks like everything is going okay. That's good. Okay. So, and there's three more in this article here. The next one is, I'm sure, familiar to a lot of people that look into any of the paranormal or even conspiracy, even though I don't cover a ton of that in this show. Um, but and just strange things in general. And that is Denver International Airport in Colorado. So, and this one again, if you look up just the name of the place and paranormal or any other kind of words about the just strange things, you might you'll find plenty, I'm sure, on this topic. So this was built. It says here in the article, and this is one of those things that pops up in fiction, but it does happen, unfortunately. And I don't have a lot of resources to verify this, but this article says it was built on Native American sacred land. And so there have been reports since then of poltergeist activity, such as shouting, or I'm sorry, not shouting, chanting, apparitions, and other noises and events. There's also this 32-foot tall horse sculpture with red eyes that fell on and killed its creator, supposedly, in this article. I think I've heard that before, so that may be accurate. It fell on the person who created it and led to them passing away. And so, of course, the story about that is that this statue is cursed and there's bad energy around it, supposedly. And of course, it mentions there are basically the conspiracies that surround the place, because I'm guessing of, and it doesn't talk about this in this article, but different murals that have been put on different walls and other things. I'm sure you can look into more. But like I said, I'm mainly focusing on the hauntings in this show here. Just because every once in a while I'd like to do that. That's what I'm most interested in overall, even though I do like to cover everything paranormal. So, but so this next one is Chandler or no, probably Chandler Airport. I don't know why I thought Chandler. In Fresno, California, and so let's see here. This the reports of this place are that people have been seen walking through the old terminal wall. So I'm guessing apparitions. If they're walking through walls, it sounds like it'd be a residual kind of thing. It says other people have reported seeing an elderly man in the old control tower looking out and onto the field as if watching planes take off and land. And as well as reports of disembodied voices and unexplained noises in the airport restaurant. So the last one on this list is Duluth International Airport, Minnesota. And apparently security guards here claim to have seen the spirit of a woman who was killed near the airport. The killer, it says, fled into the terminal after, and the story goes that she is still there in spirit form, searching for him. And it says she's been known to set off alarms and make doors open and close on their own. So, quite the mix of activity there. So, good article. I definitely recommend checking it out. Again, all these articles, they always have pictures of places that I talk about in here. and that way you can get more details about the locations and maybe do more research on your own. And then, of course, if anyone does travel, then who knows? Maybe you've been to or you'll go to one of these places. So that's the first article, and I'll put up this next one. This one is from a website called arrowtime.arrow /articles. And let's see here. Put the next one up. This is called, oh, there we go. Ghost sightings from haunted airports around the world. So this is more, this is other countries outside of the U.S. as well. I believe there's some repeats in these different articles, so we'll skip the ones, unless there's more reports. We'll skip the ones that I've already covered. And yeah, so we'll skip the ones I've already covered just so that. Now, some of these have names because that I'm not sure how to pronounce because they're in different countries. This one, I don't know how to say the first part of the name, but it's basically known as Bangkok International Airport, or BKK. And this is in Thailand. And hopefully I'm saying at least that right. And apparently, according to many people there, it says that that area, that part of the world, is known as the land of ghosts, and the belief in the paranormal are a big part of that culture there. They even believe, and this is really fascinating to me, they believe that spirits and ghosts inhabit certain trees, cemeteries, shrines, and abandoned spaces, which I can believe that as well. It says if you happen to be in Thailand, you don't have to search far for spirits, as it seems like the airport there is one of the most haunted places in that area. It's actually a fairly new airport. It opened in 2006 when it replaced another old airport. But it was built on marshland that was drained in order to start construction on the area. And again, that goes back to this idea that spirits inhabit nature and objects in nature. And of course, as is so common with a lot of these places, it was also built on an ancient cemetery. And as construction began on the place, workers started to report strange things there. They said they heard screams, chanting, and wailing. And others reported even hearing classical Thai music played randomly. And some workers even quit on the spot because of the activity. So, and many religious officials in the area believed the construction of the airport angered the spirits whose bodies were buried in the ancient cemetery beneath the airport. So, but it was completed in 2006. But before it was opened, there was this massive ceremony, a religious rite, that they actually call in this article. I'm not sure how accurate it is, but an exorcism rite was carried out there, which involved 99 Buddhist monks. So it mentions there are too many sightings there to just summarize in this section. So that's pretty amazing in a way, that things happen there so much. They can't just put it into a paragraph or two. And They say the most common or popular spirit to haunt the place uh, made an appearance during this exorcism rite. Who the spirit managed to enter and or basically partially possess, or maybe even possess one of the workers there, and the spirit introduced himself as the caretaker of the ancient cemetery. I'm guessing everything was okay after that. The spirit left the worker's body, but the spirit is known as the Blue Man because those who have claimed to see him have said that or have described him as having a blue complexion and walking with a cane. And so, as well as all of that, there is a car that is said to be haunted there, a deserted car, and it's been left in that parking lot for years. It says it's covered in dust, and people offer flowers and other sacred items to the spirit uh, that is said to live there or stay there in that car. It says rumor and legend says that the man who rented the car died in the crash and will not leave the car alone. It says that the airport is so well known for paranormal activity that ghost enthusiasts have always created forums dedicated to their experiences over there online. So, really amazing, all the things that happen there. Let's see, the next one we've already talked about, so I'm just gonna pass on through here. Next one we talked about as well. Just checking. Okay, so this next one is I'm not sure if I'm going to say this right. Islamabad International Airport, or ISB, in Pakistan. This says this place is okay. This place is one of the newest airports in the area, opening in 2018. And there are reports from workers again that in the airport that had experiences there, such as, let's see here, invisible pressure, feeling like they're basically being touched, and even causing some people to faint, which is not good. And it mentions the reports are excuse me, scattered all over local internet forums, but people have said that the airport has a heavy feeling. It mentions here that pilots are the only people who have witnessed specific sightings. It says that pilots landing at this airport have reported seeing children playing cricket on the railway, even though no children are there, and the spirits only appear to be visible to the pilots, which is really amazing. So, let's see here. And that's the end of that article. So, again, it was a little bit faster to get through that one because they had some repeats. But again, it seems like many of these places do have activity. So this last one is from Mysterious Universe, which is a podcast page that also puts out many articles. And let's see here. This one is called A Dark Flight to the World's Most Haunted Airports. And let me just check on this here. And see if there's any that they have that we haven't already discussed. It's looking... Let's see here. Yeah, looks like a lot of them are already... I'm sure a lot of them... Seems like I remember a lot of them were already reported. Or already covered here. But... Okay. So yeah, there's this, I think I'll leave this for you all to check out more. And maybe end here, because I think I'll be reviewing a lot of things. So, let's see here. Yeah, I think I'll end it there. Let you all check out this article on your own. And go from there. But this was really amazing to look into. I'm sure there's more out there. I've also found, like I said, some articles about haunted train and subway stations that I will cover in next month's, end of next month, in that month's topic-based episode at the end of the month. So, I hope you all enjoyed this. It was, again, fun to look into. Sad stories in a way, but also amazing that these things seem to happen, excuse me, almost everywhere. So, the plan for the rest of the week is Friday will be paranormal news. Well, that's what I'll be covering on Friday. And Sunday will be true paranormal stories from the web. And that will close out the week. And then next Wednesday, as of now, it looks like I'll be back with Derek again to talk about the other video game that we didn't cover last time. X-Men Legends 2. And talk about the paranormal and esoteric connections between the storyline and that, and then the real world. So, I think that covers everything. Thank you all for listening and for being here. And I will talk to you all on Friday night on the next episode of Salcedo Paranormal. Take care.